Weather whiplash from summer heat to multiple soggy WRAL weather alert days. I'm timing out your best window this weekend for outdoor plans.
The Cardiac Pack left out. This was the winning team that made history in 1983. But while NC State cashed in for decades, the players saw nothing. How some are fighting to change that today.
The devil's in the details. Significant job cuts are looming at Duke. The uncertainty around how Duke will handle federal funding freezes.
I know it's not ideal. I know you got stuff planned, but this weekend could be a wet one. We have two WRAL weather alert days coming up, one on Saturday, the other on Sunday. Thank you for joining us here at 7 o'clock. I'm Dan Haggerty. Let's talk to Kat. So the rain could actually start as early as tomorrow in some places, Kat.
Absolutely, Dan. But we're here to help you plan around the rain, and you're going to be able to do that some tomorrow and Saturday. That's the good news for you. Here comes the front. As this gets closer to us, we've got more forcing for these thunderstorms to develop. Tomorrow, we were added to a level 1 risk, so a low-end threat from Raleigh points west. Damaging wind would be the primary concern. Saturday, it's all of our viewing area under the level 1 threat, and that's why Saturday is the WRAL weather alert day. There could be a few severe storms that develop Saturday. Sunday, a weather alert day, but not because of the severe weather threat. It's because there's an 80% chance of rain on Sunday. Let's talk about the timing of all of this. 3 to 9 p.m. would be the best chance of a thunderstorm tomorrow. Saturday, our storm chances actually trending a bit lower, and the best chance would be 4 to 10 p.m. So if you can get things done during the first half of the day on Saturday, it actually looks pretty dry. Sunday, there's really no signs of any specific hours with better chances for rain than others. I'll walk you through all of this on Futurecast hour by hour coming up.
Tracker. I'm standing here in Bicentennial Plaza in downtown Raleigh at the May Day protest. This protest is just one of 50 protests taking place across all 50 states. I want to give you a closer look at what we're seeing here. So this protest is for International Workers' Day, but it also goes beyond that. A lot of the people here are protesting the Trump administration, speaking out for the students who've been detained, international students that have been detained across the country. You can read some of these signs here if I can focus in, but there are at least over 200 people that have gathered around here. This protest is also taking place just down the road at Halifax Mall. You can see they've had numerous speakers taking the stage, chanting chants. You can see this right now. We're going to remain out here and keep you updated with how this protest is going in downtown Raleigh. Willie Danley, WRAL News.
Thank you to Willie. All right, let's get you caught up back here in the studio on the 5 things that you should know right now. 3 people have been arrested after shooting into homes in Wake County. 19-year-old Alicia O'Neill, 32-year-old Dominique Stone, and 20-year-old Chase Williams. About a month ago, police responded to shots fired on Ransell Road. Then a couple of days later, they responded to shots fired again on Yakimus Road. Police think that the 2 incidents are related and that the suspects all know each other. The Wake County school system says 300 Alston Ridge Middle School students were part of a social media group that shared pornography. The principal sent a letter to parents about this. The district says this happened on campus and they were using Snapchat. The school district is investigating right now and they say that it could take some action based on what they find. We'll keep you updated. Today, a federal judge ruled in favor of Cary-based Epic Games. That's the company behind the game Fortnite. The ruling will force Apple to change its App Store policies. Apple has to let apps provide users with links to pay developers directly. Epic Games first filed the lawsuit back in 2020. An Apple spokesperson says the company will comply while it appeals the decision. Today, teachers and families in Chapel Hill and Carborough communities held some walk-ins at several different schools. The main message here was simply about funding. They argued that the state has fallen short and that the district did recently have some cuts to positions because of some shortfalls in the budget. Garner Police Chief Lori Smith officially retiring today. She's been with the department since 1997 and was a bit of a trailblazer. She was the first sworn female member of a command staff, the first female captain, and the first female chief. Deputy Chief Chris Adams will take over in the interim. There is always some new development going up in our area, and we like to talk about that kind of growth here at 7 o'clock and how it impacts you, like the future of Lake Crabtree County Park. Today was the last day for many of its trails. They are going to close, and maybe close for good. This section here, shaded in orange, might go from outdoor recreation to entertainment destination. You see, RDU Airport owns that land. They don't need it for anything, so they've been leasing it to the county for years, but that lease is coming to an end. Now, we've talked about this for a while because Wake County was only paying $1 to lease that land, using it as a park with trails and scenery and things people like to do outside. It was kind of RDU doing a solid for the people who live nearby, essentially letting them use that land for free. Yes, $1, but for free. But that's all about to end. And it wasn't RDU, I should say, that ended it. It was the FAA. They finalized a new rule in 2023 saying any airport land that is to be sold or leased must be at fair market value. And, well, $1 a year isn't exactly fair market value. It's most likely more in the multi-million-dollar range, which the county can't afford. So last year, RDU put out a request saying, hey, developers out there, you can afford this. Any ideas? RDU even put a wish list together. They wrote in a request that they want to create a unique and innovative entertainment district which will be appealing to the Greater Triangle region and may include community assets such as food and beverage, retail, hotel, and recreational facilities. But the people who live in that region don't really find this all that appealing. A bunch of them showed up to a meeting in January asking the airport authority not to take away their park.
The trend across the country is to build trail systems and not take them away.
Everything costs money now, so to have free outdoor recreation that's world class like that is really important, and it's fleeting.
Now, to be fair, although RDU's request talks about hotels and entertainment and that sort of thing, the airport authority did say that they will prioritize something that, quote, will fit with and be complementary with Lake Crabtree County Park. We shall see. Today, members of the 1983 Cardiac PAC were back in Superior Court. They want payment from the NCAA for the continued use of highlights like this and rebroadcasts from that legendary championship season. They say that it violates the current name, image, and likeness rules. Unsurprisingly, the NCAA is fighting this. Today, they asked a judge to dismiss that case. They argue 40 years is beyond the statute of limitations. But who's to say? This whole NIL thing is awfully new. It's new territory. And the team's case is one of many lawsuits that could determine the future of the NCAA and how it honors their past. With that in mind, let's answer the question, how did we get here? Every NC State fan has seen this video. Jim Valvano running around the court after that 1983 Cardiac PAC team won the national championship.
The Cinderella team has done it! The glass slipper fits!
40 years of stories and documentaries, game rebroadcasts and advertisements, and all of it brought in big money, leaving the players out. And that was commonplace, part of the deal, being a student athlete, until 2021.
NCAA rules went into effect at 12:01 a.m., allowing collegiate athletes to profit off their name, image, and likeness for the first time.
A door swung open to make money with endorsements, autographs, merchandise, and more. Good news for the college sports heroes of today, but the legends of the past wanted a slice too.
10 members of the 1983 NC State men's basketball team are suing the NCAA. They're seeking $25,000 in damages plus interest for unauthorized use of their name, image, and likeness.
Not every player joined the lawsuit, but Mike Warren and Cozell McQueen are on the front lines.
They're always showing us this, and man, somebody's making something on us.
Fair treatment for the athletes. You know, the athletes are the product.
And a lot of former players feel that way. And the NCAA is listening. It's finalizing a $3 billion settlement to pay former athletes that never got a shot at NIL. But there's a catch. It only goes back to 2016. Mario Chalmers, a Kansas Jayhawk that won the title in 2008, argued it should go back further. But just this week, a judge dismissed his case. What's that mean for the Cardiac PAC who won in '83? A decision may not come for a while, but
that's how we got here.
All right, coming up, Duke University is looking to make some cuts because federal funding is on the way out. But isn't Duke like one of the richest universities around? And why are they a private school getting public funds in the first place? Let's talk about that after the break. So Duke University says it needs to cut costs because a chunk of federal funding is about to go away. You see, those federal dollars help fund research, and Duke is good at research. Research that has led to major advancements. I mean, just look at the last 50 years. In 1976, a graduate student laid the groundwork for real-time ultrasound imaging. In 1990, a team of researchers developed the turbine methods used in power plants and airplanes. It was 2003 when new technology to detect eye disease came out of research at Duke. And in 2012, the world's first gigapixel camera. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And now, with hundreds of millions of dollars about to go away, WRAL's Sean Gallagher reports on what Duke is doing to make ends meet.
If the devil's in the details, then Duke may be going from blue to red as it faces an uncertain future for federal funding. Duke releasing this statement Wednesday saying it's critical to take appropriate action sooner rather than later to lower costs.
Hi, this is Sean Gallagher with WRAL. We contacted a number of employees who spoke to us on the condition of anonymity, who confirmed Duke Executive Vice President Daniel Ennis has a goal of reducing their budget by $350 million, roughly 10% of the total.
Well, my first takeaway, honestly, is I'm not surprised.
Economics professor Mike Walden says this may just be the beginning for universities in the research triangle. The most recent data available shows Duke spent nearly $1 billion in federal money on research in 2023, and North Carolina received the sixth most money from the NIH last year alone, with uncertainty about if that money will be available moving forward.
I'm nervous because I can't govern on instability.
These cuts are something Durham Mayor Leonardo Williams has been concerned about since federal funding freezes went into effect. Duke says it will look for employees to voluntarily leave their jobs with incentives, and depending how many people do so, the university may decide on involuntary separations in July. But how many of the close to 50,000 people Duke and Duke Health employ is still up in the air. But it could be massive from the second largest private employer in the state and largest employer in Durham.
That's one less person that goes out and have dinner at a restaurant. That's one less person that shops at a local store. It starts to impede upon our local sales tax revenue, and eventually it hits home even harder where property tax starts to get hit.
Duke says it has reduced its spending by having a hiring freeze and stopping capital spending. All of this with the goal of preventing more losses with layoffs later this summer. In Durham, Sean Gallagher, WRAL News.
Now, you might be hearing all of this and say, wait a minute, isn't Duke like super rich? I mean, at least 9 of today's living billionaires are Duke grads. Can't they donate a few bucks? Speaking of donations, what about that huge endowment? In fact, Duke benefits from 2 endowment funds. Their main source is a nonprofit, the Duke University Management Company. It has nearly $12 billion on hand, lots of it from donations. They had an 8% return last year, and over the past 15 years, the fund has nearly tripled, becoming one of the biggest endowments in the U.S. Then there's the Duke Endowment, based out of Charlotte. This is a private firm that started in 1924 by the university's founder. It's worth about $5 billion, though it's mostly about charity. Last year, they did give Duke $100 million, their biggest gift to the school in its history. So, why can't Duke just make up the difference there? Use some of that money? Well, there are a few reasons. Endowment funds are often restricted. For instance, donors can be specific about where they give their money and what that money goes to. They want it to be used for specific things like scholarships, faculty positions, or specific programs, and the fund can't really move that money around. The university also has a rule in place that only lets them spend 5% of the endowment each year, making sure that they don't bleed it dry. Plus, much of the endowment is invested in things like assets like real estate or private equity, and selling that stuff off isn't easy or ideal. You also might be wondering why Duke is getting so much public money in the first place. I mean, it is a private school that's almost impossible to get into with some of the highest tuition of any school in the country. But the reason is the public good. the work that they do, the advancements that they make, the things they discover, most of which can be tied back to the federal dollars promoting research. I'm curious what you think about this. Give me your thoughts if you feel inclined to do so. Email me, dan@WRAL.com. Tell me what is on your mind, and we will go in depth. Kat?
All right, let's talk about the weekend. We are almost there. Tomorrow is Friday. We do have a chance for some thunderstorms in the coming days. I'll start with the good news here. The Komen Race for the Cure is happening Saturday morning. Always a packed event. A lot of our WRAL team members will be there. Meteorologist Mike Mays will be there, and he'll give you any necessary updates on the radar. But the chance of rain is very low at just 20% Saturday morning. It's going to be warm out there, though, and a little muggy for the walk or run. Taking a look at Saturday, 87 will be the high. It's a warm day, not quite to 90 at least like today and yesterday. 77 on Sunday. There will be a chance for rain and thunderstorms both days this weekend. We don't have high-resolution model data in for Sunday yet. We do for Saturday. So let's talk about Saturday. We're getting a better feel for the hour-by-hour potential rain timeline. A 20% chance in the morning. That chance goes up to 30% by 4 o'clock and a 40% chance later in the afternoon and into the evening. The good news is that those chances are actually trending a little bit lower with this front still well to our west. We'll be watching that very closely for you as it moves in over the weekend. It could spark a couple of stronger storms. Tomorrow morning, there is a small chance for rain in the morning. The better chance, a 50% chance, comes during the afternoon. Around 3 o'clock through, I would say 8 or 9 o'clock would be your best bet. There are still some showers and storms to our west tomorrow night, but all of our high-resolution models have them fizzling out before they get here Saturday morning. That's why we just have that 20% chance of rain in the forecast. And then 3 o'clock, still pretty dry, but there is some activity to our west that could make it.
One last thing for you tonight. You might not know this, but the most dominant team in our area doesn't play hockey or basketball or football or soccer. They play ping pong. This is the Carolina Gold Rush. They are one of the teams in Major League Table Tennis. Yes, that is a thing. The league formed 2 years ago. And the Gold Rush, they came in third last year, but they won the championship this year. The Triangle Badminton and Table Tennis Club in Morrisville is their sponsor, and they've got the MVP of the league, Enzo Angles. He's French, I should say. I spoke to him a little earlier today.
The new people that come to watch the games, they were like, oh my God, I was totally not expecting to watch this and this thing to be that fun. They see that we are real athletes and we are not just ping pong players that play in the camping, you know, and then they just want to come to watch again. And now we have more and more people who are actually traveling to come watch MLTT, like it was the case in the championship.
Enzo and the rest of the Gold Rush squad are super talented. I mean, just look at this. They're standing like 5 yards away from the actual ping pong table, and apparently the league is really doing well. So far this year, they've added 2 new teams. They even reached a streaming deal with CBS Sports. If you want to tune in, if you want to cheer Enzo on, he was a good guy. And the Gold Rush, that's our local squad. The season starts up again in September. Go enjoy it. Why not? Hey, thanks so much for joining us here on WRAL, making us your choice for local news. We got our next newscast coming up tonight at 10 o'clock. That's over on Fox 50. We'll see you back here at 11 o'clock on WRAL. This has been one of the most beautiful shots that we have shown all day as the sun is setting behind the studios here at WRAL. What a perfect way to close out the show here at 7. Have a great night.
Keep watching WRAL News over the air Channel 34 and Spectrum Channel 1257.